10-minute daily reality check coming at you from Playa Vista, California, the land of Stepford wives and Pleasantville. When you walk around Playa Vista, Brett, what is the initial feeling you get?
Microwave. It's like everybody came out of a microwave. Everything's the same. Every building looks the same. It all feels the same, like you could be anywhere.
I mean, the center of Playa Vista is Whole Foods, basically. I mean, when Whole Foods is the center of your community, or do we call it Amazon Whole or Amazon Fresh now, whatever it might be, you know something is wrong. What do you think? You know, it's so funny. As we head into Labor Day weekend, right, we think about fall. As we head into Labor Day weekend in Los Angeles, where record temperatures are coming, we think to ourselves, every year I forget how brutal September is. It is the hottest September and the first 2 weeks in October in Los Angeles. It's like living in a microwave oven. And a friend of mine from New York came last October, and he's so funny. He goes, "What the fuck? Does summer just blow west and this is its last stand?" He goes, "Why is it 102 degrees here in October?" He says that sun just, it's like that final thing. And to you and I, after going and spending time in Montauk, right? Fall, remember fall being in the air every single day and how good it felt?
The best season of the year. Actually, when we were in Montauk a couple of days, you could almost feel fall coming. You could feel that little crisp wind, you know, at the end of the day, 5, 6 o'clock at night. So beautiful. But here, there's no fall.
Oh, there's no fall. We fall directly into winter, which is fall, you know. So Cuba Gooding Jr. said it great in Jerry Maguire. And what was his character name? Do you remember his character name in Jerry Maguire?
Rod Tidwell.
Okay. So Rod Tidwell looked at Jerry because Jerry was dating the then super fucking hot before she decided to hang out with Scientology gay boy John Travolta, right? Which may or may not be true, but who the hell cares? I mean, if he is gay and likes to get it off with masseuses, at least come out of the fucking closet, Travolta. That's your reality. You spend your entire life pretending to be straight, married to Kelly Preston. Hot Kelly Preston. Kelly Preston in that movie, super hot, played fucking the woman really great. You know, when Jerry became a nothing, she left him, right? Called him a loser. So then he fell in love with a single mother. And Rod basically said, don't steal the pooty?
Don't steal the pooty from the single mom.
Yeah. Don't steal the pooty from the single mom, because here's what single moms are all about. Somebody else fucked with them before you got there. It's kind of like going to the farmer's market and the guy looks at you and says, "Please don't squeeze the apples. We don't want them bruised." Single moms are fucking emotionally bruised. You know why? Because some asshole guy emotionally bruised them. Yeah, that's right, man. I'm fucking calling you out right now. I'm being Rod Tidwell right now, and I'm telling you, man, do not steal the pooty from a single mom. Especially you young guys that think that, you know, you can just go fuck these single moms because they're really easy. Eventually, the single mom starts getting feelings, and when she starts having feelings, you're going to be the next asshole in line. What I don't get is that when we meet somebody, and we fall for them when we fall in love for who they are, not who they think they are, right? But when we really fall in love, because I've been guilty of falling in love with people who I thought they were, I won't mention them by name at all, any one of them, right? But when you really fall in love with somebody for who they really are, and then they give you that gift of love back, that's the most precious gift anybody can give. But yet people don't treat it as a gift. They treat it as something that they deserve, and then if they don't want anymore, they discard people. Why do so many women feel this anger towards men?
Well, I'm not really sure, but for single women, they tend to go through stages, and they tend to be like the one in Jerry Maguire. She was myopic, right? She wanted to create a happy family for her son and for herself. Right, that's where they get to eventually. A lot of the single moms I know, and I'm very close friends with, after their divorce, they go through a period of, a friend of mine calls it the tramp age, right?
Yes.
They turn.
My mother was the original.
They turn in, and mine too. They turn into a tramp, right? They were married to this guy. He was boring, whatever. They didn't have a lot of sex. All of a sudden, she's 40, right, and she's really ready to go. She's like, "Let's get laid." And then after that, of course, they're biologically programmed and emotionally programmed to try and recreate that nuclear family. So they become focused on that. what that does for most guys who are not really, let's say, on the up and up, it provides opportunity, right? Because guys are looking to get laid. 80%, 90% guys out there, they're like, oh yeah, she's easy. She's ready to throw down because she thinks I'm going to give her the relationship that she wants and create this new family. And that's what he was saying by don't steal the pooty from the single mom. Why they get mad? I think a lot of women, and this is totally symptomatic of women in their 40s that have been married, because you and I have met a lot of them. And if this is you, I'm sorry, but the truth is that they have a lot of anger coming from their marriage. They have a lot of built-in reactions, resentments, things like that. And those things are the first thing on their mind when they fall in love or they get into a relationship. So they tend to hold that stuff against whoever walks in the door, whether you're just dating them, whether you're asking them out for coffee, whether you just smile at them in the grocery store. Some women are like, don't even look at me, right? They've got that nasty feeling from their ex, and they're just projecting it out on you.
You know, it's interesting, and they project it and project it and project it. And then what happens is they push the good one away, and then they have a story about how all men are this, you know. And look, we call people in. I mean, if we think about it, right? You know, we're calling people in all the time. We're calling people in to work through the things that we need to work through. If we got our fucking manifestation skills and our love skills right, we are calling people in to really heal the way we've always needed to be healed, okay? So for instance, if you don't trust men, or men have never come open with their promises, and then you have a man that comes in and he does everything he, whatever he does, his actions match his words. Eventually, you need to realize he's the guy coming in to heal you, that you can trust. He really is generous. He really is loving. He really is that person. You don't need to find the loophole. Will he make a mistake? Absolutely. Will he not come through one day? Absolutely. But the majority of time, he knows that he doesn't want to steal the pooty because he fucking believes what Rod said, you know? He watched Jerry Maguire 25 times, and he knows that he's also healing through your gift of love as well. He's also understanding that the stuff that he is working through, which he may or may not share with you, he's working through because those are his issues coming up as well. So the two of you are healing one another. And I think that's the thing as we get older, love is about healing. And once everybody is healed, then the love grows in ways it's never grown before, because then you venture down a road you've never been before, right? Because we're all fucked up. We're all broken in our own way. And if you don't realize, if you don't think that you've got work to do with somebody to get them to trust and to open up and everything else, if you think you could just go fall in love with the gift of love, you're fucking wrong. I mean, I'm sorry, but The Little Mermaid was The Little Mermaid, okay? It wasn't the divorced mermaid, okay? There's no Disney character called, hey, welcome to the divorced mermaid. She's been married twice and she's been fucked over. She's had a tail, she's had feet, and she still wants to fall in love. The fact is that if you're going to go into a love relationship with somebody, realize that you're mirroring one another and you're both going to work through something, and you're going to fix, or the word fix is a bad word, you're going to heal each other.
Right. I mean, nobody's perfect, right? Like, if you expect somebody to walk through the door and be perfect for you, I'm sorry, but shit's just not going to work out for you. It's not going to happen. The relationships that work are the people who go into it with eyes wide open and say, all right, I understand this person has a history. They had a life before I met them. They had relationships. Maybe they had a marriage. I mean, I dated a woman last year who was awesome. She was great. We got along great. She was beautiful. She liked me a lot. But there was one thing, and I told you about it when it was going on, that really kind of made me step back and look at it and go, well, maybe not, because she was still mad at her ex-husband, right? Like, her ex-husband had, I guess, stepped out on her and gave her a curable, but something nasty, a sexually transmitted disease, right? All right, well,
Whatever.
That was him. That marriage is over. It's been over for, almost 10 years. But she was still pissed off about it. And every once in a while, we'd have a conversation, and I would see that anger come out, and I just she couldn't get past it, and I couldn't get past it. So we're not together.
It's interesting. The anger is going to come out, but you need to let it come out healing. As each day passes, okay, and you give each other the gift of love, you're going to peel the layers of the onion every single day. There is people that really fall in love with shiny object syndrome. right? Oh my God, look, new shiny object, look how perfect, ah! Right? And this is like my relationship now. There's no shiny object to it. Never has been. I stopped looking at shiny objects when I got burned by shiny objects. I think my last shiny object, right? My 6-month shiny object, right? When I finally looked and said, she's not a shiny object. She's a really fucking dysfunctional human being who I do love as a person, but we don't match one another. She taught me not to really fall for shiny objects anymore. So when you fall and you give the gift of love to each other, buckle in, man, because there's going to be shit that comes up. Ex-husband calls, ex-wife calls, triggers the person to do that. The person feels funky. Listen to them, because your job is to heal and love them. Because if you're healing and loving them, you're going to see that person come out. Maybe the Little Mermaid will come out again, maybe the innocent version will come out, and you'll start trusting one another. Because I think the biggest thing is that people don't get as they get older. Trust takes time. It used to be that, what was that song? Love takes time. Love takes time. Yours or mine, right? If you know that song, you get a free 15-minute coaching call with either Brett or I. First one to say who did Love Takes Time. But you got to realize it's that healing takes time. So when you're with somebody who you're with, heal one another and be patient with one another and allow the person to fully trust and let go and watch what happens. Then you erase the X's. You erase the as in yesterday's show, PTDD, post-traumatic dating disorder, post-traumatic divorce disorder, post-traumatic ex-husband or ex-wife disorder. You're going to start healing that. So you have to be patient with them peeling the layers of the onion away.
Absolutely. It's like if it's worthwhile, you'll stay. And you can't expect something, like we said, nobody's perfect. You've got your shit, they've got their shit. It's just that the people who stay together and the relationships that work is when the worst thing about them doesn't really bother you, you can deal with it, and the worst thing about you doesn't really bother them, and they can deal with it.
That's interesting, because when I learn about some of the worst things with somebody, they don't bother me, because I think to myself, is that your worst? Bring on your real worst. Because that's really not that bad, because I got my worst, and, it's like, I'll bring on other worst if you want. Anyway, we'll be back. Brett will be with us probably 3 days a week on the 10-minute daily reality check. You voted, and you said bring more Brett Parker back, so we're bringing more Brett Parker back. We listen, we hear you. Today's reality is don't fuck with the gift of love, man. Think about who you love in your life. Don't fuck with it. And also, take a look at Whole Foods stock. See if it goes up or down over the next couple of months. What's your thought about that? The reality is, as we talked yesterday, is Amazon going to rule grocery stores like they rule online? Or do you not even give a shit at all? Reality comes at you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's why the reality check is here. Because in life, no matter what happens, reality comes. And by the way, my reality today almost got hit on the 101. Somebody in a Dodge pickup truck was zigging through, coming at me in my rearview mirror so fast. I hit my brakes a little bit, tapped him a little bit, so he saw my thing. He zigged out of it, and then somebody, I guess, cursed him out, and then he stopped on the 101, and he was just stopping, creating a traffic jam. I was a half a mile behind me, and he literally was still stopped there, giving everybody the finger. So his reality is anger management, lots of therapy, whatever it might be. We're going to talk about it. See you tomorrow.